Let us begin with a truth that will unsettle you to your core. The gorilla is not the savage, chest-beating monster of Hollywood films. It is not King Kong. It is not a mindless brute. The gorilla is in fact one of the most gentle, emotionally complex, and intellectually sophisticated creatures on Earth. It is our cousin, sharing over 98% of our DNA. It is the largest living primate, a creature of immense physical power, capable of bending iron bars and tearing down trees. And yet, this same creature spends most of its day eating leaves, resting in the shade, and tenderly caring for its young. It is a vegetarian. It is a pacifist. It is a philosopher of the forest, sitting in quiet contemplation, watching the world go by with ancient, knowing eyes. But here is the tragedy that no documentary fully captures. The gorilla is disappearing. Not because it is weak, not because it cannot adapt, because of us, because of our wars, our logging, our poaching, because of a virus that we gave it, Ebola, which has wiped out entire populations in a single season. The gorilla has walked this earth for over 8 million years. It has survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and the shifting of continents. It has watched our species evolve from hairy, frightened apes into the dominant force on the planet. And now it is looking at us with those deep, intelligent eyes, and it is asking a question that we are too afraid to hear. What have you done with your power? Today, we are telling the biography of the gorilla. Not one gorilla, but all gorillas. The western lowland gorilla, the eastern lowland gorilla, the mountain gorilla, and the cross-river gorilla. 4 subspecies, each fighting its own battle for survival. This is their story. The gorilla family, Hominidae, shares a common ancestor with humans that lived approximately 8 to 10 million years ago. From that ancestor, the gorilla lineage split, evolving into the magnificent creatures we see today. The genus gorilla is divided into 2 species, the western gorilla, Gorilla gorilla, and the eastern gorilla, Beringei. Each species has 2 subspecies. The western lowland gorilla, Gorilla gorilla gorilla, is the most numerous and widespread, inhabiting the rainforests of Central and West Africa, from Nigeria to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The cross-river gorilla, Gorilla gorilla dili, is the rarest, with only a few hundred individuals remaining, isolated in a small region along the border of Nigeria and Cameroon. The eastern lowland gorilla, Beringei graueri, also known as Grauer's gorilla, lives in the lowland rainforests of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, and the mountain gorilla, Beringei berengei, is perhaps the most famous, living in the volcanic slopes of the Virunga Mountains, spanning Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Despite their differences, all gorillas share a common set of features: a large, robust body, with males weighing up to 200 kilograms, almost twice the weight of an average human; a prominent sagittal crest on the skull, which anchors powerful jaw muscles for chewing tough vegetation; and a distinctive black or brown coat of hair, which protects them from the cold and the rain. Gorillas are primarily terrestrial, walking on all 4s using their knuckles, a form of locomotion known as knuckle walking. They are also capable of bipedal locomotion for short distances. Their arms are longer than their legs, enabling them to climb trees and reach for food. Their hands are remarkably human-like, with opposable thumbs and a delicate sense of touch. They are diurnal, active during the day, and they build nests on the ground or in trees each night to sleep. The gorilla is a master of its environment, but it is also a prisoner of it, dependent on the shrinking forests that are being cut down at an alarming rate.
What defines a gorilla? Let us start with the body, because the gorilla's body is a monument to power and gentleness. The gorilla is the largest living primate, with males reaching up to 2 kilograms and standing over 2 meters tall when fully upright. Their muscles are incredibly dense, giving them a strength that is difficult to comprehend. A silverback can lift over 800 kilograms, far more than even the strongest human. But this strength is not used for aggression. It is used for gathering food, for protecting the group, and for the occasional display of dominance. The gorilla's skull is massive, with a prominent sagittal crest that anchors the powerful jaws. Their teeth are large and flat, designed for climbing, leaping, stems, and twists. Their tailbone reflecting their primarily herbivorous diet. Their eyes are wide and expressive, capable of conveying a range of emotions. Their ears are small and set close to the head, but their hearing is acute. Their sense of smell is also well developed, helping them locate food and detect predators. The gorilla's hands are remarkable in their similarity to human hands. They have opposable thumbs, allowing them to grasp objects with precision. They can peel fruit, strip leaves, and even use simple tools, though this is rare in the wild. Their feet are also similar to human feet, but with a larger opposable big toe that helps them climb. As for the senses, gorillas have a keen sense of smell and hearing, but their vision is relatively poor compared to humans. They are not good at distinguishing colors, but they have excellent depth perception, which helps them navigate the dense forest. The gorilla's brain is similar in structure to the human brain, though smaller in overall size. The gorilla brain weighs approximately 500 grams, compared to the human brain's 1.4 kilograms. However, the gorilla brain has a similar level of organization, with well-developed frontal lobes associated with decision-making and social behavior. Gorillas are highly intelligent, capable of problem-solving, using tools, and communicating through a complex system of vocalizations, facial expressions, and body language. They can learn sign language and use symbols to communicate with humans, a fact that has revolutionized our understanding of animal intelligence. The gorilla's memory is also remarkable, with individuals able to recognize specific humans and remember interactions for years. Now let us talk about the gorilla's daily life and social structure. Because the gorilla is not a solitary wanderer. It is a deeply social animal living in stable family groups known as troops. A typical troop consists of a dominant silverback male, several adult females, and their offspring. The silverback is the leader and protector of the group, making all the major decisions about where to go, when to move, and how to respond to threats. The silverback is not a tyrant, he is a guardian. He mediates conflicts, comforts distressed individuals, and ensures the safety of the group. The silverback is also the primary defender against predators, including leopards and occasionally chimpanzees. He will fight to the death to protect his family. The females in the troop are the core of the group's social life. They form strong bonds with each other, grooming, playing, and caring for each other's offspring. They also form strong bonds with the silverback, who serves as a father figure and protector. The offspring are the center of attention. Gorilla infants are born weighing about 2 kilograms and are completely dependent on their mothers for the first few years of life. They cling to their mother's fur, nursing and sleeping, learning about the world. They are weaned at around 3 to 4 years old, but they remain close to their mothers for much longer. Males in particular may stay with their natal group for several years after reaching adolescence, learning from the silverback before striking out on their own. Gorillas communicate through a complex repertoire of vocalizations, including grunts, barks, roars, and hoots. They also use a variety of gestures, such as chest beating, which is perhaps the most iconic gorilla behavior. Chest beating is not a sign of aggression. It is a form of communication, conveying information about the gorilla's size, strength, and mood. It is used to intimidate rivals, attract mates, and signal excitement. Gorillas also use facial expressions to communicate. They have a wide range of expressions, from the soft, friendly gaze of a mother to the aggressive stare of a silverback. Their eyes are particularly expressive, capable of conveying complex emotions. The life of a gorilla is one of learning and social development. They learn from their mothers, from the silverback, and from other members of the group. They learn how to find food, how to build nests, how to interact with other gorillas, and how to respond to threats. This learning is cultural, passed down from generation to generation through observation and imitation.
The gorilla's diet is primarily herbivorous, consisting of leaves, stems, fruit, and bark. They are also known to eat insects, including termites and ants. Gorillas are selective feeders, preferring certain types of plants over others. They will travel significant distances to find their preferred foods, which often include fruits that are high in sugar and nutrients. Gorillas spend a large portion of their day eating, up to 8 hours. They move slowly through the forest, foraging methodically. Their feeding habits shape the forest ecosystem. They disperse seeds through their dung, promoting plant diversity and forest regeneration. They also clear undergrowth, creating space for other plants to grow. Gorillas are also important for seed dispersal. The seeds of many plant species have evolved to require passage through the gorilla digestive system before they can germinate. Without gorillas, these plants would decline and the forest ecosystem would suffer. Gorillas are ecological engineers, shaping the environment in ways that benefit certain plants can lead to changes in plant community composition. They also build trails through the forest, which other plants use. In addition to their ecological role, gorillas also in the community they are seen as symbols of strength and wisdom, and their presence is the loss of gorillas would be not only a ecological but also reproduction is another critical aspect of the gorilla's life story. Gorillas have a relatively slow reproductive rate, which makes them vulnerable to population declines. Females reach sexual maturity at around 7 to 8 years of age, but they may not have their first offspring until they are 10 or 11 years old. The gestation period is approximately 8.5 months, similar to humans. The newborn is completely dependent on its mother, nursing and sleeping, carried on her body for the first few years. Male gorillas reach sexual maturity later, at around 10 to 12 years of age, but they do not become fully dominant silverbacks until they are much older. The silverback is the only male who mates with the females in his group, though some groups may have multiple adult males. Gorillas are also known to form strong bonds between mating partners. The silverback is often seen grooming and playing with his offspring, and he is deeply protective of them. The mother is the primary caregiver, but the silverback also plays an important role in the social development of the young. He is a model of leadership, strength, and protection.
The gorilla's parental investment is high, with mothers carrying their young for years and teaching them the skills they need to survive. This long period of dependency is a hallmark of the gorilla's evolutionary strategy. It takes many years for a gorilla to reach sexual maturity, but the investment in each offspring ensures that the offspring has the best possible chance of survival. The bonds between gorillas are not just social, they are emotional. Gorillas have been observed demonstrating empathy, cooperation, and even altruism. They comfort distressed individuals, they share food, and they protect the weak. This is not just a collection of individuals, it is a family, bound by love and loyalty.
Now let us talk about the gorilla's daily struggle, because life for a gorilla is not a peaceful stroll through the forest. It is a constant battle against hunger, disease, and the encroachment of humans. Gorillas face a variety of natural predators, including leopards and occasionally chimpanzees. Leopards are the primary predator of gorillas, particularly young or weakened individuals. Gorillas have also been known to kill leopards in self-defense. The silverback is the primary protector of the group, and he will defend his family with his life. Gorillas also face natural threats from disease. They are susceptible to many of the same diseases that affect humans, including Ebola, respiratory infections, and intestinal parasites. Ebola has had a devastating impact on gorilla populations, wiping out entire communities in a single outbreak. It is believed that gorillas have contracted the virus from humans through contact with tourists, researchers, and poachers. In addition to natural threats, gorillas face the constant pressure of human encroachment. The forests where gorillas live are being cut down for agriculture, logging, and mining. This habitat loss is the most significant threat to gorilla populations. As their habitat shrinks, gorillas are forced into smaller and smaller areas, leading to increased competition for food and resources. They are also forced into closer contact with humans, which can lead to conflict. Gorillas raid crops, and humans sometimes kill gorillas in retaliation. The survival of gorillas depends on the preservation of their forest habitats and the success of conservation efforts. How is the gorilla useful to humans? Let us count the ways that are rarely acknowledged. First, ecosystem engineering. Gorillas are the gardeners of the forest. They spread seeds and create clearings that benefit many other species. They also help to control plant populations and maintain the balance of the forest ecosystem. Second, tourism. Gorilla watching is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the countries where gorillas live. Tourists come from all over the world to see these magnificent animals in their natural habitats, and the revenue generated supports local communities and conservation efforts. Third, scientific research. Gorillas are a window into our own evolutionary past. By studying gorillas, we can learn about the origins of human behavior, intelligence, and social structure. Gorillas have also been used in medical research, particularly in the study of diseases that affect primates. Fourth, cultural significance. Gorillas are central to the mythology and culture of many African peoples. They are seen as wise and powerful creatures, and their presence is deeply valued. The loss of gorillas would be not only an ecological tragedy, but also a cultural one. Now, what can humans learn from the gorilla? First, the power of gentleness. Gorillas are among the most powerful animals on Earth, yet they are pacifists. They do not attack unless provoked. Humans could learn to use their power with restraint. Second, the importance of family. Gorillas are deeply loyal to their family groups. They protect and care for each other. Human societies have become fragmented. The gorilla teaches us the value of community.
Third, that leadership is service. The silverback does not dominate his group, he protects it. Human leaders should learn from this example. Fourth, that the natural world is sacred. Gorillas live in harmony with their environment. We cannot survive without the natural world.
Now, let us talk about conservation, because the story of the gorilla is not over. It is being written now by each of us. The western lowland gorilla is classified as critically endangered. The eastern lowland gorilla is also critically endangered. The mountain gorilla, after decades of conservation efforts, has seen its population slowly increase, but it remains endangered. The cross-river gorilla is the rarest, with only a few hundred individuals. The primary threats to gorilla populations are habitat loss, poaching, disease, and human-wildlife conflict. There are solutions. Protected areas, including national parks and wildlife reserves, provide safe havens for gorillas. Anti-poaching patrols have been successful in reducing poaching. Vaccination programs have helped protect gorillas from disease. Community-based conservation, where local communities are involved in protecting gorillas, has also been successful. Education is key. People need to understand that gorillas are not enemies. They are essential partners in the health of the planet. The future of the gorilla depends on our choices today. We can continue down the path of destruction, or we can change course. We can choose to protect the gorilla. Not because it is useful to us, but because it has a right to exist, because it is our cousin, because it is ancient, wise, and irreplaceable. And now we come to the final truth. The gorilla has been on this planet for 8 million years. It has survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and the rise and fall of countless species. It was here when we were nothing more than small, fur-covered mammals. It has watched us evolve into the dominant force on the planet. And now it is looking at us with those deep, intelligent eyes, and it is asking a question that we are too afraid to hear. What have you done with your power? We have the power to destroy the gorilla. We also have the power to save it. The choice is ours. Every time we look at a gorilla, we see a creature that is not so different from us. A creature that loves its children, protects its family, and grieves its dead. A creature that has lived in harmony with its environment for millions of years. A creature that teaches us what it means to be human. Because in the end, the gorilla is not just an animal, it is a mirror. It reflects our capacity for love, for memory, for grief, and for hope. It shows us who we are and who we could become. So let us protect the gorilla, not because it is useful, but because it is sacred. Not because it is endangered, but because it is irreplaceable. Let us give the gorilla a future, not just for its sake, but for ours. Because a world without gorillas is a world without wonder, a world without wisdom, a world without memory, and that is a world we do not want to live in.